The final, gut-wrenching decision in Spider-Man. No Way Home isn't just about Peter Parker making a sacrifice. It's a direct, painful echo of one of the most controversial and thematically rich comic book storylines in Spider-Man history, Brand New Day. Many viewers might have focused on the multiversal spectacle, the return of beloved villains, or the poignant farewells, but the true emotional weight, the why of that ending, is profoundly rooted in this comic arc. Imagine a world where the hero's greatest triumph comes at the cost of everyone he loves forgetting him entirely. That's not just a plot device. It's the very soul of Brand New Day, where Peter Parker's life is fundamentally reshaped, and not for the better, at least not personally. This film, meticulously crafted, brings that particular brand of tragic heroism to the big screen, arguing that for Spider-Man, the greater good often demands an unbearable personal toll, a detail many missed as they were swept up in the action. The film doesn't just borrow the premise. It meticulously recreates the feeling of that loss, showing us why Peter's ultimate choice is so devastatingly profound. The Brand New Day storyline, launched in Amazing Spider-Man number 546 in 2007, wasn't just a reboot. It was a radical reevaluation of Peter Parker's status quo, sparked by the events of One More Day, where Peter made a literal deal with the devil Mephisto to save Aunt May's life. The cost? His marriage to Mary Jane Watson was erased from existence, and his public identity as Spider-Man, revealed during Civil War, was also forgotten. Sound familiar? No Way Home doesn't just nod to this. It mirrors it almost beat for beat, offering an analogous magical erasure of crucial personal connections to save the multiverse, and by extension, Aunt May. The deliberate choice to have Dr. Strange's spell specifically target Peter's identity, and then, in its perfected form, his very existence in the memories of others, isn't a coincidence. It's a direct, narrative-driven homage, explaining why the stakes are so personal and universal simultaneously. This detail highlights the film's deep understanding of Spider-Man's comic legacy and its willingness to embrace the more controversial, yet impactful, aspects of his history. In Brand New Day, Peter wakes up to a world where his entire romantic history with MJ is gone, and while some details of his past remain, the most significant, life-altering commitment of his adult life simply vanished. The film's ending, where MJ and Ned no longer recognize Peter, is a direct, agonizing visual representation of this. The filmmakers want you to feel that same gut punch, to understand the gravity of Peter's decision not just as a heroic act, but as a profound personal tragedy. It's not just about them forgetting Spider-Man. It's about them forgetting Peter Parker, the boy they grew up with, the friend, the boyfriend. This specificity, this emphasis on the person being forgotten, not just the hero, is crucial and often overlooked. It explains why Peter hesitates to reintroduce himself, even when given the chance. He knows the cost, both to them and to himself, of restoring those memories, echoing Peter's internal struggle in the comics to reconcile with a life fundamentally altered by a magical erasure he sanctioned. The aftermath in both Brand New Day and No Way Home sees Peter Parker forced to rebuild his life from scratch, stripped of the foundational relationships that defined him. In the comics, he's back to being a struggling photographer, dating new people, and dealing with a fresh rogues gallery, often feeling adrift in a world that feels both familiar and alien. The film expertly captures this post-memory wipe disorientation, showing Peter in a sparse apartment, making his own suit, and living a solitary existence. This isn't just a cool montage. It's a deliberate narrative choice to emphasize why this sacrifice is so impactful. He's not just back to being friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. He's back to being an unknown, fundamentally alone. This detail underscores the film's core theme. Spider-Man's heroism is intrinsically linked to his ability to endure immense personal suffering for the greater good, a truth that Brand New Day hammered home, and No Way Home beautifully, tragically, replicates. The thematic parallel extends beyond just the memory wipe. It delves into the very nature of Spider-Man's burden. Both Brand New Day and No Way Home explore the idea that Spider-Man, perhaps more than any other hero, is defined by his personal sacrifices. He's not an untouchable god. He's a human being constantly making impossible choices that chip away at his personal life. The film's ending, with Peter swinging through the city, utterly alone, serves as a powerful visual metaphor for this. He saved the universe, but at what cost to his own soul? This isn't just about sadness. It's about the profound isolation that comes with being Spider-Man, a detail many might miss in the immediate emotional aftermath. It explains why his heroism feels so grounded and relatable, even when dealing with multiversal threats. He's us, but suffering on a scale we can barely comprehend, and his enduring spirit in the face of such loss is precisely why he remains one of the most beloved and tragic figures in all of fiction. The Brand New Day era in the comics wasn't just about loss. It was about Peter finding new ways to be Spider-Man, to forge new connections, and to reaffirm his commitment to heroism despite his personal anguish. The film's ending sets up a similar, albeit darker, trajectory. Peter has literally shed his past, his mentors, and his loved ones to preserve the fabric of reality. This isn't just a reset button. It's a profound character evolution, explaining why this version of Spider-Man feels so uniquely burdened yet resilient. He's been stripped bare, leaving only the purest form of his heroic impulse. This detail informs his future choices, suggesting a Spider-Man who operates with a heightened sense of responsibility and a deeper understanding of the sacrifices inherent in his role. He's not just a friendly neighborhood hero anymore. He's a hero who has literally paid the ultimate personal price, and his journey forward will be defined by that profound, haunting memory of what he lost for everyone else's gain. One of the most devastating aspects of Brand New Day was the feeling that Peter had lost not just a wife, but an entire support system. His relationships with people like Jarvis, the Avengers, and even some of his villains were subtly altered or reset. No Way Home amplifies this, stripping Peter of everyone connected to his identity as Spider-Man, including the invaluable mentorship of Tony Stark, the maternal love of Aunt May, and the unwavering friendship of MJ and Ned. This isn't just an individual memory wipe. It's a systemic erasure of his entire personal universe, explaining why the ending feels so utterly isolating. It's a detail that underscores the profundity of his sacrifice. He didn't just give up a relationship, he gave up his entire story as it was known by those closest to him. The film meticulously builds up these relationships over multiple movies, only to tear them down in one fell swoop, ensuring that the audience understands the immense weight of what Peter has lost. As the initial spell from Doctor Strange unravels, we witness more than just a ripple in reality. It's a full-blown fracture. The visual of the sky tearing open isn't merely for spectacle. Look closely at the silhouettes forming in the cracks. You can discern not just the Green Goblin's glider or Doc Ock's tentacles, but also more obscure shapes hinting at other villains. This isn't just a convenient plot device to bring back old foes. It's a subtle nod to the sheer vastness of the Spider-Verse, implying that countless other iterations of Spider-Man and their rogues are always on the brink of bleeding into other realities. The very fabric of the MCU is shown to be far more porous than previously imagined, setting the stage for future multiversal shenanigans and confirming that there isn't just a multiverse, but an infinite cascade of them. It's a foundational moment, visually establishing the stakes for the entire film and the MCU's future. Willem Dafoe's portrayal of Norman Osborn in the FEAST shelter is a masterclass in understated tragedy. He's not immediately the Green Goblin. He's a man utterly bewildered, displaced, and acutely aware of his own fragmented mind. This isn't just Dafoe reprising a role. It's a deep dive into the psychological horror of his character. The fact that he's found in a homeless shelter, specifically FEAST, is a powerful callback to Aunt May's charitable work and, more significantly, to the comic book Brand New Day storyline. In those comics, Aunt May's compassion and involvement with the community are central. This detail humanizes Norman even before the Goblin fully reemerges, making his eventual turn far more impactful. He's a victim of his own mind, not just a one-dimensional villain, and Aunt May's kindness briefly offers him a glimmer of hope that is tragically short-lived. Aunt May's death is the emotional core of No Way Home, and arguably the most impactful moment for Peter Parker. Her final words, "With great power comes great responsibility," are delivered not as a trite saying, but as a hard-won truth from a woman who has embodied that principle her entire life. Notice the way she looks at Peter. It's a look of love, pride, and profound understanding of the path he must now walk. This isn't just a rehash of Uncle Ben's death. It's a recontextualization. May's sacrifice isn't about Peter failing to act, but about the inherent dangers of the life he's chosen, amplified by his compassion. It forces Peter to confront the cost of his heroism head-on, echoing the sacrifices Peter makes repeatedly in Brand New Day. Always for the greater good, always at immense personal cost. Her death is the catalyst for his ultimate sacrifice, cementing the idea that heroism always demands a price. The long-awaited team-up of the three Spider-Men is pure fan service, but it's also narratively essential. Each Peter brings a unique perspective and, crucially, a unique wound. Tobey's Peter, having found a semblance of peace, acts as the elder statesman, offering wisdom earned through years of struggle. Andrew's Peter, still carrying the profound guilt of Gwen Stacy's death, is given a moment of redemption by saving MJ, echoing his own past failure. Tom Holland's Peter, raw and vengeful, needs to see his future and his past to truly understand the path he's on. This triumvirate isn't just about fighting villains. It's about collective therapy and passing the torch of wisdom. Their combined experience prevents Tom's Peter from making a fatal, irreversible mistake, showing him that revenge is a dead end. It's a powerful visual metaphor for the enduring legacy and burden of being Spider-Man across generations and universes. The decision to cure the villains rather than simply defeat them is a crucial departure from typical superhero movie tropes and a direct reflection of Peter Parker's core morality. This isn't about punishing evil. It's about saving everyone, even those who have caused immense pain. Consider the nuances in each cure. Doc Ock regaining his humanity, Electro getting a more grounded power source, Sandman becoming fully human again. This act of empathy, driven by Aunt May's last lesson, is the true heroism of the film. It's a brutal, difficult choice, demanding Peter put aside his anger and prioritize a greater good, echoing the constant moral quandaries Peter faces in Brand New Day, where he often has to make unpopular choices for the long-term benefit of those around him. This selflessness is a defining trait of Spider-Man, and seeing it manifested on such a grand scale is truly powerful. Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man finally gets his moment of profound redemption by saving MJ. The slow motion, the palpable relief on his face, the tears in his eyes. It's a direct, cathartic echo of Gwen Stacy's death. This isn't just a parallel scene. It's a healing of a deep, festering wound for his character. For years, fans have debated the weight of Gwen's death on Andrew's Peter, and this moment provides a beautiful, if bittersweet, closure. It highlights the enduring pain of his past and the profound satisfaction of finally preventing such a tragedy. This act of salvation isn't just for MJ. It's for Andrew's Peter, allowing him to carry less grief and more hope back to his own universe. It underscores that even across the multiverse, the core tragedies and triumphs of Spider-Man resonate and can, in unexpected ways, find resolution. Peter's ultimate sacrifice, asking Strange to make the world forget him entirely, is the emotional and narrative climax, tying directly into the Brand New Day storyline. In Brand New Day, Peter makes a literal deal with the devil Mephisto to save Aunt May, resulting in his marriage to MJ being erased from history, along with his public identity. Here, the stakes are even higher. He loses everyone, MJ, Ned, Happy, even the other Spider-Men. The visual of him walking into the empty coffee shop, seeing MJ and Ned but being unable to connect, is gut-wrenching. This isn't just about fixing a multiversal problem. It's about Peter embracing the purest form of self-sacrifice, ensuring the safety of those he loves, even if it means his own existence becomes a lonely, forgotten shadow. Keep that small apartment Peter moves into, and the hand-stitched suit. It's the key to the ending. The final scene with Peter in his new, hand-stitched suit, swinging through New York, perfectly encapsulates the Brand New Day ethos. Gone are the stark tech suits. This is a Peter Parker stripped bare, relying solely on his wits, his powers, and his inherent sense of responsibility. The small, dingy apartment from earlier isn't just a place to live. It symbolizes his complete rebirth. He's truly alone now, but also truly free from external influences, free from the weight of public expectation, and free to define Spider-Man on his terms. The suit itself, a blend of classic design and homemade practicality, reinforces this. It's a subtle but powerful visual metaphor for his journey back to basics, embodying the independent, scrappy, and perpetually struggling hero from the comics. This isn't a tragic ending. It's a defiant new beginning, signaling a purer, more focused iteration of Spider-Man, prepared to face his future alone, but never truly alone in his fight for justice.